Meet my grandfather, Lawrence Hughes. Vietnam War veteran, father of two, here to talk to us today about his experience with multiple sclerosis.
Well, been over 20 years now.
Yeah, almost 30, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so before that, how was your life? Was it just?
You know, in the early stages, I didn't realize I had it. And it wasn't until some events, being an Army officer, you have
Perspective.
well, an idea that I could do lots. I mean, there wasn't anything I felt I couldn't do.
Multiple sclerosis is a demyelinating disease of the central nervous system, which includes the brain and spinal cord. Myelin is the protective sheath that surrounds the axons of neurons, allowing them to quickly send electrical impulses. This myelin is produced by oligodendrocytes, which are a group of cells that support neurons. In multiple sclerosis, demyelination happens when the immune system inappropriately attacks and destroys the myelin, which makes communication between neurons break down, ultimately leading to all sorts of sensory, motor, and cognitive problems. MS can be divided into 4 different categories. Relapsing remitting MS is marked by flare-ups of symptoms followed by longer periods of remission. Secondary progressive MS may develop in patients initially diagnosed with the first category and is marked by progressive worsening of the disease with or without periods of remission or plateaus, and plateaus in symptom severity. Primary progressive MS continues to worsen with no periods of relapses or remission, but may present with occasional plateaus. Progressive relapsing MS, the least common type, continues with intermittent flare-ups of worsening symptoms along the way, with no periods of remission. Specific symptoms vary a lot from person to person, largely depend on the location of the plaques. Multiple sclerosis typically affects individuals between the ages of 20 to 40. Symptoms related to bouts can typically worsen over weeks and can linger for months without treatment. One common trio of multiple sclerosis symptoms is called the Carrots neurological triad, and it includes dysarthria, which is a difficulty or unclear speech, nystagmus, which is the involuntary rapid eye movements, and the intention tremor. Dysarthria is due to plaques in the brainstem that affect nerve fibers that control muscles in the mouth and throat, and this can interfere with conscious movements like eating and talking, and can lead to things like a new stutter, as well as unconscious movements like swallowing. Nystagmus is due to plaques around the nerves controlling the eye movements. Plaques around the optic nerve cause loss of vision in one or both eyes because of the damage in the optic nerve, which is called optic neurosis. Sometimes there is blurring or graying of the vision, or alternatively, there may be dark points in the center of the vision. Additionally, if there's damage to the nerves controlling the eye movements, then eye movements can be painful and there can be double vision if the eyes can no longer move in a coordinated way. Finally, the intention tremors can be caused by plaques along the motor pathways in the spinal cord, which can affect outbound signals like skeletal muscle control. Motor symptoms can include muscle weakness, muscle spasms, tremors, ataxia, and which can cause loss of balance coordination. This can lead to paralysis.
Some of your early symptoms were you had some double vision for a while. Your symptoms would come and go in your early stages after being diagnosed.
What they call that?
What, early symptoms?
When you have double vision?
Well, when I've got, and they would disappear.
Remittent, exacerbating remittent symptoms, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, well, I can't see real good right now, but wait till a couple minutes and it all comes back. I thought anyway.
You also had a lot of numbness in your legs, and that was even before you got diagnosed. You had some numbness in your legs, that type of thing.
That's when I blame my golf on that. I would, if I could find an excuse, for something that I should be able to do, but I couldn't. I said, well, it's the MS that's doing this.
It's not
And
me.
she'd always say, not this time.
So, along with golf, what were some other things that you found that you couldn't do over time, like after diagnosis? Like, yeah.
Someone,
So, along with like golfing and stuff like that, what are some other things that you found that you couldn't do as the disease progressed?
well, a good example is driving. I could drive and all of a sudden I get that double vision and it's just, and it would scare me
Yeah.
and say, this is not good.
But also when you didn't have double vision, but you would drive, you would get lost because you couldn't figure out your way to where you were going. So you had a lot of trouble with following directions or sequencing, things like that. That interfered with your driving too. And then of course, walking, getting very tired when you were walking any place. You were still able to walk for a long time after you were diagnosed, but you get tired much easier than you did before. Doing any type of work or anything like that, you would get very tired with that.
I found that to be a good excuse. I have MS, I can't do that anymore because I get tired. Right?
Yeah, and just not being able to balance was another problem with the walking. And doing anything, even standing up eventually, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it would bother me as much as it did. But as time went on, and I liked to play golf, or I liked to do lots of stuff, but I couldn't do it anymore because I didn't have a good feeling towards it.
How has it affected your relationship between each other? Because obviously it's a lot of strain in your relationship. How is it? You guys held
Okay,
up?
say that again.
So how does disease affect your relationship with Mormor? Because obviously it's a lot of strain on it, a lot of dependency.
Had to take a second look at that, and I was very cognizant of that fact, and I didn't want it to affect me. And I would prevent or try and second guess it or something. But kind of make excuses why I couldn't, right?
Yeah. So, in a lot of ways, it's made us closer because we have to spend more time together, basically. And in some ways, it's been difficult because we always say to each other, "We didn't ask for this," that that you have to be so dependent on me, and I think that's frustrating for you. But also, sometimes I think you're very thankful that I'm
Yeah.
here.
Oh,
Alright.
goes without saying.